and welcome! Today we're going to be talking a little bit about hatchlings versus adult ball pythons. People very often ask me if they should get an adult or a hatchling ball python. What are the pros and the cons of these two guys? So let's start off with the hatchling. With me today I have gorgeous little Ariel. You may have seen her before. Ariel, she's a tiny female, she's only a couple of months old and she's a coral glow. She is a hatchling. The pros of getting a hatchling ball python is that they don't really have a feeding habit yet. So you can very easily getting them used to eating like pre-kill or frozen or whichever one you prefer. You also get a small snake that doesn't really require that much when it comes to space. Like hatchling ball pythons will do perfectly fine in just like a small tub like the one I have Ariel in. And then of course there's my favorite thing about hatchlings is that you get them from the beginning. Like you get them from when they're nearly born and you get to follow them, you get to see them grow. And that is one amazing thing. Like with Noel, my 1-year-old male ball python, I got him when he was a hatchling. He was so small and now he's growing to be this big and beautiful snake. And I really do think there's something special in watching them grow. I personally really do enjoy that, and I personally prefer to buy hatchlings because I really think they are the most adorable creatures on the planet. As you can see with Ariel, look how she's just like hiding away and looking, and of course you get to follow them, you get to see them grow, and you get to like imprint the habits on them that you want, like feeding frozen, getting used to a terrarium, all that kind of stuff. So that's really all the pros about getting a hatchling ball python. Then of course we need to speak about the cons, because wherever there is a pro, usually there is a con. The cons of buying a hatchling ball python is that they are usually very skittish and very fragile, which means like you can see with Ariel here, he is hiding away a little bit. That means that they usually will prefer to hide away, and you really don't get to have that much interaction with them as hatchlings because they need to feel safe and they need to grow. So it does take some time when you get them as a hatchling. It's better to just kind of leave them alone. Of course you can handle them, but whereas the older ball python might deal with it a lot better than the hatchlings do. So that's one of the cons. Like they're small, they are a little bit fragile, and usually they really do prefer to hide away because they do tend to be skittish. Also when it comes to colors, like ball python usually I believe don't tend to change colors that much, but there is a possibility that the snake you're buying as a hatchling might not look the exact same when it's an adult. So that's also one thing you have to consider. Also when it comes to their temperaments, as hatchlings in general they are very skittish, you know, and they can hiss at you and attack you, but in general they do grow out of it, and usually ball pythons do tend to have this docile temperament. But when you buy hatchlings, you cannot be 110% sure that this is the temperament that they will get when they're an adult. So that's also something that is a little bit on the con side. Of course the realities of it is that it is very possible that they are going to grow into this docile beautiful animal, but there is a chance that they might grow into having a bit of a bad temper. So when it comes to hatchlings, all in all, these guys, they're incredible cute, and you do get a snake where you can get to follow it, you can get to see it grow, you can kind of imprint your habits on it, which means that if you wanted to eat frozen, there's a good chance that you can teach it to do that, whereas an adult who has been eating live for its whole life might not be that easy to persuade to eat frozen. But you also get a snake that is probably a bit skittish and mostly would like to hide away. But all in all, hatchlings are definitely not a bad choice, but you really have to know that like when you buy a puppy, you need to do all the footwork on these guys. That was the hatchling. Now it's time to talk about the adult ball python. This is my female, this is my golden girl. She's a 3-year-old female and she is a prime example of an adult ball python. She's gorgeous, she's beautiful, docile temperament, eats well, just perfect. When you're buying an adult ball python, of course you kind of know what you're getting. The colors, the temperament, the eating habits, everything is established and everything is as it seems. Of course, if you get an adult snake who has been used to eating live its entire life, it can be a bit difficult to turn it around. It is of course a possibility, it is possible, but it can be quite a challenge. So that's also what you need to know when you're buying an adult. When it comes to the cons of adults, oh hang on. when you're buying an adult ball python, one of the cons is that you don't know the story of the animal. You don't know how it's grown, you don't really know the feeding habits. Of course, the seller will tell you and hopefully tell you the truth, but all in all, you don't really know what this snake has been through. And I know from personal experience that I have bought, like this girl has been born and raised in Iraq, and it's very clear to me that she is used to Iraq. Like, this girl does not like big terrariums, it stresses her out. I tried to do that and she ended up in a feeding strike. So this girl, she really does prefer to be in a smaller terrarium, and preferably one that's completely dark, because that is what she is used to. My other girl I have as well, Rowena, my purple passion, same story with her. She's also born and raised in Iraq, and she as well do prefer these smaller terrariums where it's dark. So all in all, when it comes to adult ball pythons, you pretty much get what you see. The colors, the temperaments, the feeding habits, everything. It's like someone else has done all the food work for you, and you have a perfectly healthy, hopefully, a perfectly healthy snake with good habits and all that kind of stuff. So this is like a finished product, whereas the hatchling is a product in the making. That's all for today, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any more pros and cons on hatchling and adults, please let me know. Just write it right down in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Please give the video a like so I know that you like what I make. It really does mean a lot to me. And while you're at it, just hit subscribe on that channel. As usual, you can find me on Instagram under the name jossersjungle. Thank you guys for now, and bye bye.